So I just wanted to introduce the video that we're about to watch. It is just a nice informal chat between myself and my amazing client who unfortunately suffers from Alopecia Universalis. We are speaking immediately after his 4th session, hence why his head's still quite red. We just discussed his entire treatment, his SMP journey. Unfortunately, he had SMP done somewhere else quite some time ago, which came out horrendously. He came to see me, I recommended laser, so we discussed the red flags, the pitfalls that he now saw with his first SMP clinic he went to, his experience with the laser, and then his experience with SMP done by myself here at Scalp Art. Hopefully you can all gain a little bit from it, a little insight into what we do, the benefits that SMP has. Also to know that if anybody out there is suffering with any form of alopecia, any hair loss problems that affect you mentally, as well as the physical side of things, just know that there's help out there. There's some amazing charities out there, Alopecia UK, SMP clinics. We understand a great deal about what you might be going through, and just so you know that there is help out there and that there's things that are able to be done. So anyway, hope you enjoy the video and you learn a little bit, get a little insight to what we do. So, Balaz, we just finished your last session for your SMP.
Yes.
So just like, in your own words, obviously, what first made you, inquire about SMP and tell us about your journey, really?
Yes, okay, Ollie. So I have Alopecia Universalis, which means that I don't have any hair. I lost all of my hair and my confidence with it. So I wanted to look a bit more natural again. So I inquired about SMP and I had a pretty bad experience at first.
Okay.
With someone else who clearly didn't know about SMP. After a year I came to you and I had a laser and the whole change turned around.
Yeah, so we first met, we together decided that laser would be the best option for you, didn't we? Because if you don't mind me saying so, the SMP that was left on your head was not great. It looked, that's putting it politely. Yeah. So we thought if we try it, we'd take it back. We at Scalp Art, we've got a great laser person that we work with to make sure that it's all done properly, safely. And then we went through several sessions of laser together. Then we kept in contact regularly to make sure that you were ready to come in. And then obviously you came into the clinic ready for your first day. So again, looking back on say how our first session was compared to the first session that you had with the previous SMP providers, what would you say are the main differences to yourself that were say some red flags from before, and then maybe people that are in your position that consider an SMP, what do you think they should be looking for in their SMP providers?
Yeah, so I think the first one was a big red flag. She started off saying we need 10 sessions. I think it's way over too many. And from you, I know that it's usually 4 sessions, 3 plus 1. I was the lucky one, or needed more maybe, 4 plus 1. She also, another red flag, she also didn't do my full head. And again, I was new to it, I didn't know. She kept telling me, this is the Japanese way, this is the best way, so that's how we do it. And what she did small strips, starting with the front and going back. By the end of it, there was failing here and quite visible at the back. So it didn't look good. When I met you, you talked me through of the sessions, you told me about the trainings you did, you showed me pictures. So yes, all the reviews about you looked great, and that convinced me. Yeah.
Brilliant. So would you sort of say that to find your SMP consultant provider, it's good to do a lot of background research, make your own mind up. So you want to be looking for reviews, you want to look at the consultant's previous work, all those things. Obviously we explained. Did you find that me explaining how each session and the whole procedure would work was reassuring to you, or?
It was reassuring, yes, and it was helpful to know that actually you didn't start yesterday. Actually, I also remember that you were saying SMP hasn't been around more than, I don't know, 3-4 years maybe. And
It's been around a bit longer, about 10-ish, but it's become more mainstream 3 or 5 years.
But the previous practitioner told me that you had 20 years of experience. You know, that was
another red flag. But at the time, obviously, you wouldn't know that.
No, I didn't.
You know, if you're new to it. So, thinking on our experience now. So Balaz is, just for context, Balaz is fresh out of his last session. That's why his head is a little bit red, a little bit leathery looking skin, because we literally finished 10 minutes ago. So full disclaimer, all redness and everything will subside and it will end up looking like mine. So thinking to our sessions, again, for people that haven't had SMP, are considering it, in your own words, just describe it sort of briefly. Is it painful? Just what can you expect if you're coming for your first ever SMP session?
It's not painful at all. And I know that many people, including myself, was worried about that. I was preparing myself. But it's not painful at all. And with each sessions, you will have better and better results. You can see that, oh yes, it's coming together. You are actually, it's looking more natural.
Like we explained, SMP, we build it up, so the process of layering, building up the texture, building up the density. So, so just overall in a nutshell, would you recommend SMP to somebody with not just necessarily alopecia, but they might have pattern baldness, thinning hair? Would it genuinely be something that you'd recommend?
I think so, yes. Again, it's not hurting, it's a fairly quick process. And then you get your confidence back, you will look natural again, you have full hair.
Brilliant. And then obviously the main question, out of 10, what would you rate Scalp Art?
11.
Says it all. Thank you, mate, appreciate that.